We're back again this week with the latest lifestyle, entertainment, and travel news. So buckle up, adventure is coming your way. We take a tour of some of Johannesburg artistic spaces with media personality Aldrin Simpia. We wrap up the week with a recap of all that took place to commemorate Human Rights Day. We dive into all that's great and majestic in Cape Town at a shark cage diving experience. Johannesburg, the city with movers and shakers. Heavy hitters who are always on the move, securing the bag and making a mark in their respective fields. It was only a matter of time before we rubbed shoulders with radio and TV host Aldrin Simpia. We did it, guys. Finally, I got a seasoned journalist in a tuk-tuk, and we actually are doing this interview while we are roaming the streets of Auckland Park, which is like a couple of kilometers away from where he works. He's a radio DJ, television personality, an all-around cool guy. Hello, Aldrin Simpia.
I thought you were going to start it off with breaking news. We've got.
I actually should have given you the mic to run this interview. How are you?
I'm good. How do you do?
Oh, thank you. Is it your first time getting in a tuk-tuk?
It is my first experience. I even want to know how much does it cost? But it's quite a nice experience, I have to say.
So, is it safe to say this Johannesburg is a city that really saw your career become what it is?
Well, definitely. I don't even think that I would have achieved whatever I've achieved so far if my mom didn't decide to come to Johannesburg. And because I was born in the Free State, in Welkom, and we moved when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And ever since, we've lived in Joburg. Yeah, the opportunities are indeed a lot in Johannesburg compared to any other city, definitely.
So you've always known that you wanted to be a broadcaster?
Did I? I don't know. I thought I'm going to be an accountant at some point, and then I thought I'm going to be a lawyer. But one thing that I do recall is standing in front of a mirror. We were still living in a shack Engem, and I rehearsed my acceptance speech for an award. I haven't received that award as yet, but God, if you're listening, hope this happens.
Yeah. Wow, your story is so relatable. I think most people that have achieved some level of success in their lives, they always recall their humble beginnings. What would you say was your starting point? Where did you begin this broadcasting career?
So broadcasting, I started back in 2008, but my love for it really started, I think, around about 2005 when I was still in matric. And I remember my girlfriend at the time wanted to be a newsreader. And I found it so weird because young people and news and who wants to be a newsreader? But ever since that day, I've really taken it into consideration, and that's where my love for news started. And I guess fed into broadcasting.
We've reached our destination. Have you had a cup of coffee this morning?
Actually, I haven't, and I hope that the coffee that we're going to grab is going to be nice because I love my coffee.
A quick stop at Melville's 27 Boxes for a quick cup of coffee before we headed over to our next destination. We had something a little unconventional waiting for us at this leg of our tour. We're doing our second leg of our Joburg tour with Aldrin Simpia. Dang, dang, dang. Right now we are in Rosebank at Honest Travel Tours. Take us through the tour.
So I think just to give you a little bit of an introduction, so we are obviously Honest Travel Experience, and we are the coolest experience company in South Africa. So we've got a branch in Durban, one in Cape Town, and obviously in Joburg. And we basically bring the cool to Joburg. So this is pretty much our latest addition to the different experiences that we offer. And the idea is to pretty much go eco-friendly and go completely green. That's our goal as a company for 2025. So we're going completely green, and this is obviously the introduction to that journey that we obviously are heading to. And today we're going to take you guys on a tour of Rosebank, and we're just going to show you what Rosebank is about.
How are they eco-friendly?
So they're completely electrical. So they actually work on batteries, and they charge very simple. It's much like a phone, like literally iPhone, Samsung, you just plug it in. So there's no need to remove a battery. So, it gets things moving pretty quickly, other than actually using like a fuel motivated vehicle to get around. So we've actually chosen the e-scooters. So the speed is actually about 40k. So we actually have like different scooters. So the different ranges, like some are like 20 k's per hour, some are 40, 45, and so on. So we have an entire catalog.
Rosebank is a diverse suburb with places that always bring an eclectic mix of crowds to its popular locations.
Right now we are on Keys Street, known as Keys Art Mile. They're home to most of the galleries in Rosebank. I mean, behind us is obviously Everard, and there you've got cars as well. So there's a lot of pretty much a lot of art spaces. And part of our Rosebank tour is obviously showcasing a lot of the art spaces and art galleries. And this is basically home to Joburg's artists and artisans through the space as well. So we had Keys Art Mile.
How are you feeling? How are you holding up? I'm exhausted.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. A bit scary at first, but I think I did better than you. Let's put that out there.
I'm still struggling. The struggle is still very much real.
I'm enjoying this. This was really fun. I think there's something amazing about the breeze, and how the breeze just catches the body, and then seeing all of this beautiful architecture over here, and then of course the sculptures and beautiful people.
Tell me about your love for art.
Okay, so I think that I've always been an artistic person. However, though, because of work and my love for current affairs, I think something happened along the way where I lost touch of that. But I'm trying to reignite it again. As you've seen on my social media, I'm busy with DIY. So next thing, don't worry, one day you'll see an Aldrin Simpia sculpture there. I love wood and leather, yeah, so.
What's your best travel destination?
Destination? Must it be local?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Let's try local.
You want to try local?
Oh, Mr. Director.
I'd say Mozambique. I've enjoyed Mozambique. Shai is one of those places, and because of the snorkeling as well in the clear water, yeah.
It's safe to say that we delivered on our promise to make this experience unforgettable. Moving around the city has never been this cool.
In celebration of Human Rights Month, the iconic Constitution Hill is hosting an all-black female exhibition. Titled Game Changing Women, the exhibition shines the light on ordinary black female artists who are making a difference in the arts. According to curator Lufuno Mthethwa, the idea behind the exhibition is to celebrate the rights of women.
So we wanted to put together an exhibition that spoke and showcased women, everyday women, and that it was curated and created by women, black females in particular. So that's how we came up with the concept for Game Changing Women of South Africa. We approached Con Hill and told them that their DSE has given us some grant funding to put together this exhibition. And quite honestly, it was a happy mistake. It was a collaboration of the gods, if you may say so. And then we found out that it was part of, there was going to be Human Rights Day, and it coincided with the dates. And it worked out really well because we felt that women's rights and what we are trying to portray fits in quite nicely under the banner of human rights.
The exhibition has an array of artists, from photography, painting, portraits, and sculptures.
This is an existing body of work from all the different artists. So we looked at a plethora of different artists and bodies of work, and we looked at what actually fits in under game changing. So you'll see when you do a walkabout that most of the women talk about the rhetoric of being a black female in communities, or they're showcasing women that are street vendors, or they're showcasing things such as HIV, dyslexia amongst black women, or things like gender-based violence. So all that work fit into what we are trying to talk about game changing, and each and every artist here was creating some game changing narrative within their work, whilst also being game changing themselves, and that's how we chose them.
Ivory is one of the ladies showcasing here.
My work looks into a celebration of street vendors. It's a project that I've been doing since varsity, like 6 years now. And in my work, I actually shine light on street vendors. I mean, particularly Black women that sell in the city and surrounding areas. And I've been doing this for, as I mentioned, 6 years. And I've documented numerous women. And so in my work, I look into metaphors that really allow to heighten so that we actually come to a position of celebrating these women.
So take me through the exhibition.
Okay, here we have Zanele Dlamini. Her work looks into single women that are pioneering homes in the Vaal. She's documented these women. So she really looks into a positive side in terms of many, like single women and their kids, you know, like Uguti, it takes a village to raise a child, you know. And then here we have Nobuhle Mavundla. She is a photographer. So she's also like HIV/AIDS activist. So Nobuhle's work really, the body of work that we've chosen here looks into her coming out and revealing her status. Because, I mean, at the age of 13, that's where she found out, because she was born with it, and it was a hush-hush within the family. But so that, I think it was a burden for her for so many years. But I think growing up, then she decided to really make this official, so that it's no more a burden of some sort, you know. Yeah, so she uses certain elements, you know, to really communicate to us with that, you know. I mean, the red shoes really look into how she missed out on teenage years, partying, not doing teenage stuff like her peers, you know. Yes, so that's her. We have also Lerato Mtau. She is dyslexic. So, you know, because of people who are dyslexic, they have the challenge of not reading and writing. So now with her, what she does, she uses art to really, she has used art to overcome that, you know. Not saying it's because I can't paint, but I can use a different medium to actually still verbalize and really voice out what I want to say. And in her work, she really looks into everyday women, you know, Mama Weduku, where it's actually also celebrating Black women.
The exhibition will also open dialogues for women to discuss issues that they face on a daily.
Up next, we take the party to the Vaal Dam on a boat cruise. Boat cruises are never out of style. Whether you are doing it in the Free State, the Northwest, or KwaZulu-Natal, they are always a vibe. So today we are doing it in the Free State with Vaal Privé. So of course we are in the Vaal. The people are here, they are in the mood, I'm in the mood. Let's go party. How do you categorize this experience? Is it a lover's lane or is it a party hub? What is it?
Okay, for me, it's a lover's lane. That's why we're upstairs. As you can see, that all the couples are Makamo and party people, they're downstairs.
Yeah.
So with us, this is our love month. Tomorrow is our anniversary. That's why we're here.
What is a love month?
Love month, okay, for us, this is when our relationship started. Started on the 1st, got married on the 5th. So throughout the whole of September, we're celebrating our love. So basically that.
I love it. Are you also celebrating love?
Yes.
Okay.
What are we on? 4 years.
Almost.
Almost 4 years.
Are you guys from the Vaal?
No, we're from Cape Town originally. We met in Joburg actually. We both work in Joburg. Yes.
Okay. So you leave the beach for the Vaal Dam?
No, we found the dam. Yeah.
You
No,
found it, you didn't
we didn't. No, we found it. Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's No, nothing.
It just happened
Yeah,
that
it
way.
happened.
It just happened that way. Yeah. You look shy, but you look like you love TV, but you're shy. I'm a TikToker. So.
What stands out about this experience?
Definitely the view and the calmness, the aura that the whole experience gives you. It's very calming. It's romantic. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I got the look at that.
And just like that, we were back to where it all began. And the sunset made it all picture perfect. How can you not strut when the walkway itself feels like its own event? The much anticipated film The Deal has officially hit the big screens. Produced, written and directed by Paul Mojaji, the star-studded film made its debut this past week at the Constitutional Hill.
Oh yes, this is my entrance code. I'm going up to the penthouse.
Film can be activism, and it can be very powerful, and young people often understand via visual aesthetics, They were commenting actually in the last screening that, the TikTok generation, the attention span is not very long, but when you get a punchy story like this one, that we have on The Deal, you really get to communicate very key messages, and that's why I just loved making this film. So, he's been working on the script for about, I'd say just under a year and a half, but it's a short film, so we had to be very tight with our schedule. So we had to do a 3-day shoot. It was a little chaotic. It was all hands on deck, as they say, and everyone was just helping out, and we were very lucky because we got support from people that we didn't even think we'd get support from.
I think it's never easy when it comes to funding. People often need to believe in projects in order to throw money at it, and I think that's important. Most of the funders that came on board, including Wandile, myself, and Paul, was more because we believed in the project, and I think that it was an important story to tell. So people like Brand South Africa drives a campaign called Play Your Part, and this is again an important note where two men played their part and created a story about gender-based violence, dementia, mental illness. Sometimes within the impoverished communities, and especially with the Black communities, it's not an easy conversations to have. And I think a movie like this, a short film like this, brings out the story that it is such a reality, and the characters bring it out so beautifully. And it's such a rich story that a lot of people in this country can identify, especially in our communities.
I think one of the major issues that comes out through the film is the access to lack of education and funding for education, particularly for girls. Within our organization, and I think with the director, Paul Mojaji, the work we've done across the continent, we know it's not just a South African issue. Girls across the continent really struggle with having access to education. And also, they find themselves sometimes in situations where they are being taken advantage of, because they're just trying to access a human right. Education is a human right, and we live in a world where sometimes young girls have to be put in situations or find themselves in situations where their human rights are, they don't have access to their human rights, and people take advantage of that. So that's one of the key kind of challenges that comes out through the film, that looks as, girls, and how do we protect young girls? How do we make sure that young girls have access to education? How young girls are protected from being taken advantage of?
Blame her for being pissed.
So what, Mamkolot?
A trip to the ocean is always the highlight of every vacation. So once again, we took to the beach, not in search of white sand, but for something a little bit more daring. Shark cage diving in Gansbaai with the White Shark Project team. We're right in the middle of an ocean. We are about to do some shark cage diving. I've got my wetsuit on, I've got my booties. I'm observing some beautiful seagulls, and the cage is ready. First time So yes, I think I have definitely ticked one of my bucket lists. From what seemed to be the middle of nowhere, the crew had identified sharks at close proximity and used charm to lure them closer to the boat.
Now, on the end of the bait line is just a frozen fish head. There is absolutely nothing on that line at all that can harm the sharks, okay? Now, in terms of sharks that we're seeing at the moment, we are predominantly seeing a shark called the bronze whaler shark or a copper shark. Okay, they are another big predatory shark species we have around the South African coastline. They grow up to about 3.5 meters in length. They are a schooling shark, so we generally get more than one shark at one time. Over the past couple of weeks, there's been schools of about 20 to 30 of these sharks around the boat. Okay, so diving in the cage is literally like diving in the middle of a school of sharks.
Divers, down in front, down in front, down.
Shark cage diving can be a waiting game. If you wait long enough, you might just spot a great white shark. So I decided to go last.
Take it back 10, 15 years ago, we could see 10, 20, even up to 30 individual white sharks in a day. Now, in the past few years, on a good day, we'll see up to 5 individuals, okay? But the population number is incredibly low, and we are having periods of time where we're not seeing white sharks. And unfortunately, we are in one of those periods of time at the moment. And there are so many reasons for this. We have beach nets and drum lines up our east coast of South Africa that are catching numbers of white sharks a year. There are big long-lining fishing boats that are actually catching the white sharks' food because they're catching smaller sharks. And then they also catch the white sharks as bycatch as well.
After spending some time in the cage, you get to appreciate the beauty of this species. The fear wears off and you feel like doing it over and over again. It's time to live and leave you trendy travelers. Let's do this again, same time, same place.